Okay, like I say, there's 2 or 3 people not here. I don't know where they are. So just a reminder that next week, I will be Skyping from home or teaming from home. You're welcome to come up here in this classroom. If you want to come to class, that's fine. But you'll just have to use your laptop or whatever device you need to use. All right, here we go with the Excel spreadsheet. And I'm going to make, we did n is odd last time. So let's do n is even. N is equal to 12. And we're going to put 12 numbers for the X. And that'll be, let's do ages. 18, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21, 21, 23, 25, 27, 27, 28. Let's see how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there is your data set. So I want y'all to go ahead and take a minute or two, and I'll be filling out everything. I want you to find on your own the mean, median, the mode, range, mid-range, the variance, and the standard deviation. And if you can't find the variance and the standard deviations, we'll do it together. I'm also going to bring in a insert picture. Bring that in. I'll try to make it fit best way I can. Make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to put the mean right here. So that's going to equal that number. And then equals this number plus standard deviation, log. I'm going to carry that to 3 places. 1, 2, 3. And equals this minus the standard deviation, F4, and go in this direction. I'm not going to be able to, let me move this over 1. Insert, there we go. Now let me move that. There. Perfect fit. There we go. Now, of course, with our, I'll give you another minute. I'll go ahead and label my X minus X bar. X minus X bar. And then X minus X bar quantity squared. Heck, I can't move it just a little bit. There. Okay, so the first column, we're going to subtract. Well, we got to find our mean first. Sorry. So mean, and of course, I had to mess it up, didn't I? There. Okay, the mean is going to be equal to all these numbers divided by 12. Not 122, but 12. Okay? And that just, I might take out, I don't want to take out anything because I already got the chart right. So we're just going to have to use your imagination, know what mode, range, mid-range, variance, standard deviation is. All right, so now I'm going to subtract equals, I'm going to subtract the mean from each one of my numbers. And I'm going to copy that down. And you need to check your numbers here on your sheet to make sure, because you need to have one for odd and you need to have one for even. So make sure you check your numbers there, and then you're going to square that number. And there's your numbers. And then, of course, the summation means you're going to add those numbers up, and we'll make that purple like we did the other day. But I don't like that purple. It's too dark. There we go. Make it a lavender. Okay, add those up and hit enter. And that is your numerator for your standard deviation. Now we went ahead and did that, so we won't have to do it later. So I went ahead and did that and got it out of the way. All right, so let's go ahead and find our median. Our median is going to be the two middle numbers. So that means 5 up and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means these two numbers right here. I'm going to highlight those two numbers yellow or yellow, depending on where you're from. Yellow. And that's going to be the average of those two equals parentheses. And I got a degree in everything. I know that the average of 21 and 21 is 21. I don't need anybody telling me that, but those numbers are not going to be the same all the time. Okay. Now I want you to highlight something here. That 21 right here in yellow, I'm going to put a blue dot beside it, because that blue dot is right here. Okay, remember, when you're finding the median of even numbers, when you're finding the median, you find the absolute middle. That's between those two 21s. Now, it makes better sense if those are two different numbers, and it'd be like a 21.5 or something, and then you would know it's in the middle. But when you're doing your 5-number summary, that blue dot's going to be important. Okay? So, the mode. Okay, mouse. Why is this mouse doing this? There we go. I had a brain bubble there. No, I don't want to clear anything. All right, so let me get rid of this. The mode, which one shows up the most? 21. So 21 goes here. Remember, 21 is observed. So equals the highest minus the lowest. Mid-range is equal to the average of the highest plus the lowest. And the variance is equal to this purple guy divided by, and what is 12 minus 1? and then take the square root of 12.96 or raise it to the 0.5 power or 1/2 power. And that is your standard deviation. So let's look at our numbers now, because we want to learn something. We just don't want to regurgitate. So this one's green. This one's green. And the mid-range is green. And what do y'all see about those three numbers? They're pretty close, aren't they? They're pretty close. You got 22, 21, and 23, so they're pretty close. So that means that the standard deviation, the spread, is going to be small. Write that down. The spread is going to be small because, I'm going to change this to another green. There we go. The standard deviation, or the spread, is small because these three numbers are close together. If these three numbers are all over the place, then your standard deviation, or the spread, is going to be very high. So we've got 22.3 in the middle, and then 33 is an outlier. So anything above 33 is or 33.1374 is an outlier, and anything below 11.5 is an outlier. So if I had a 10-year-old in this group, that would be an outlier. If I had a 35-year-old in this group, that would be an outlier. If I had a 30-year-old, that would be unusual. If I had a 14-year-old, that would be unusual. And from 15 to 29, that would be what? Normal. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm saying, then you understand what we're doing here. Now, I'm going to show you how to find the 5-number summary right quick. I'm going to put it right here. The 5-number summary consists of the mean, first quartile, second quartile, the third quartile, and the max. Now the mean is pretty easy. That's going to be that number. The second is going to be even easier. Can anybody tell me what the second quartile is? It's the median. And I'm going to have to move this, so I'm going to scrunch it. Okay, I don't want you to lose these numbers that go under these marks, so I'm going to scrunch it instead of move it over. I don't want to move it over. Okay, and the max. So if anybody messes up the mean, the second, and the max, don't tell anybody, because all you got to do is copy them. So please don't, if you miss that, don't tell anybody, please, because then you'll be embarrassing me and yourself. All right? Who else? Did we ever get anybody else in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think a couple of people came in. Okay? Question? All right, so where is the first and the second? Well, that's where the blue dot comes in. If you've got an even number, you got to use the blue dot. If you've got an odd number, you've already got the median mark, because it's the only number between, it's only by itself. Does everybody understand that? An odd number, you would have a yellow, you would have a 21 marked, and that's it. That would be it. That would be the middle. So we got to count above the blue dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many numbers do we have above the blue dot? 6. Is that odd or even? Even. So we're going to have to average the two middle numbers. And I'm finding the median of the top, the median of the bottom. That's your second and third quartile, first and third quartile. So I'm going to highlight these in kind of a bluish color. And that's going to be that color. And you're going to take the average of 19 and 20. Equals, parentheses, 19 plus 20 divided by 2. That's your first quartile. Second quartile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be these two guys, and we're going to highlight that nasty looking orange. And highlight this, that orange. And that's going to equal, parentheses, 27 or 25 plus the other, because it doesn't matter. It's addition, so it doesn't matter what you use first. There we go. Now I'm going to show you how to do the box plot, and it's real simple. The box plot is going to consist of two things: the number line and the box. The number line is going to consist of the min, the max, the min is 18, the max is 28. The mid-range is what? 23? That's what the number line consists of. Now, what's half of 5? 2.5. So 2.5 would be 20. 2.5 or 2 would be 25. I'm taking half of half of half. I'm graduating the number line. So 18 to 20, so that'd be 19. What is that? 20, 23, 21 and a half. 23 to 25, that'd be 24, somewhere in there. And then 25 to 28 be what, 27, something like that. All you got to do is graduate it. Now you draw your box plot. So I need a blue. Blue is 19.5. Okay, I said blue. Thank you. And then that burnt orange, which I don't know if I have an orange, but I'll try to find an orange. Yeah, I do. Orange is 26. And then yellow is 21. And that's how you do your box plot. Now, if you can do all of those, you're ready for the test except for z-scores. If you can do everything we just did right there, then you can do your z-scores. Then you're ready for the test except for z-scores. Okay, so make sure if you have to, make sure you look over this video, because I've just showed you 3.1, 3.2, and 3.4, and some of 3.5, except for z-scores. Okay, now let's do it on the calculator. Now the first thing you want to do on your calculator, So I need everybody, if you've got a TI 83 or whatever, 83 or above, you need to go to catalog. I can't see 15 degrees. Where's catalog? That's 0. So hit second catalog, or turn it on first. Second catalog, and go down to diagnostic. Go down to D's. And make sure you hit diagnostic on and hit enter again. That turns on everything on your screen. Okay? And once you set it, you shouldn't have to set it again. Okay? Now I'm going to clear. I can't hardly see these keys. Or quit. Where's clear? There. All right, now I'm going to go to stat and edit. And that's another word saying the spreadsheet on your calculator. Stat and edit. And now I'm just going to type in, we're going to type in 10 numbers. No, let's make it 12. I'm just going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everybody with me? Now type in stat and calculate. And hit first variable statistics. And it's going to L1 like it's supposed to. And calculate. And there's everything you need to know. Our mean. The mean should be somewhere up there. Heck, I can't see it. 6.5. SX, that's your standard deviation. 3.6. And then down here, go down, you got your 5-number summary. 3.5, 6.5, 9.5, and 12. 1 is your min, 12 is your max. Now you're going to have to calculate your mid-range for your box plot because it don't have it on there. So your mid-range is going to be 7.5, right? 12 plus 6.5. 6.5 is going to be your mid-range, which is right there at your median. Okay. Oh, one more thing. The box plot that we did, look at it. Looks like it's a little bit what? Looks like it's a little bit skewed what? Skewed right, because most of the data is on the left. Because that yellow line should be in the center. Right there at 23, the yellow line is the median. The median should be, the average, or whatever, the median should be right there in the center. So it's a little bit skewed right. Okay? And that's how you do it on the calculator. Now, if you want to graph a box plot, I'll show you how to do it, but if you have to, you need to refer back to this. We're going to go over questions probably Friday, so I'm not worried about, you're probably going to see this again. Let's go back to the, you hit, go to second, stat, y is equal, or it says stat plot, y is equal, second, y is equal, hit enter on the on position, and it's already got, this is a scatter plot, you want a stat plot, you want that second one right there. So arrow down, oops, hit enter, and it's already going to L1, so all you have to hit now is graph. And there it is. Now, it may not be on there. Make this note. Hit zoom and stat, which I think is 9 or 0. 9, zoom stat. And it'll make it where you can see it. There it is. And if you want to see the numbers, you just hit trace. And you can see there's the first quartile, there's the mean, there's first quartile, there's the second quartile or the median, there's third quartile, there's the max. Okay? All right. So that's how you do an odd amount data set and an even amount data set. And that's how you do the 5-number summary, variance, and standard deviation. Chances are, after y'all do your homework, hopefully you should have already done your homework, hopefully y'all will send me questions, because if no questions come in Friday, that means we got a test coming up. All right, so with that being said, let's go to clear this. And I can't get my, there. Okay, Z-scores. I'm not even going to show you the book. I'm just going to the whiteboard. Next page. Okay, write down the Z-score formula. They're both the same, just different variables. For the sample, you got regular letters. For the population, you got sigma and mu, which are Greek letters. And go ahead and write that question down too. And write this down. Z-scores are used to compare apples and oranges. That's what you're doing. You're comparing apples to oranges. You're comparing two different type samples to each other. While y'all are writing that down, I'm going to call the roll right quick. Get that out of the way. Of course, they've logged me out. Math 120-24. This is week 3, so I just got to check and see if Miss Stewart is here.
I'm here.
Okay, good. Then everybody has been here this week. I'm going to hit submit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We got 16 in the class, and everybody's been here this week. So I just wanted to check and see how many we got in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're missing 4 people. I knew we were missing some people. Now, the question says, with a height of 75 pounds, LBJ was the tallest president in past history. Okay? With a height of 85 inches, Shaquille O'Neal was the tallest player in the basketball team. What does the question ask? Because any redneck with 3 teeth in their head can tell you that Shaq is taller than pretty much anybody. But what is the key word here? Relatively. Relatively means according to their own populations. What is the criteria for being President of the United States? You have to be a natural-born citizen of the United States, and you have to what? Be, is it 45 years old or 42 years old? I can't remember. 45, I can't remember. They got to be a certain age, and of course you can't have any felonies or anything like that. You know, you can't be a criminal and be President of the United States. Okay, so you can't murder somebody and be President of the United States. So there are some, you know, things that you can't do. But what about being tall? Is that a prerequisite? No. So Lyndon Baines Johnson was a big fish in a little pond. Why? Because you don't have to have a height requirement to be President of the United States. So since he was a tall person, he was probably one of the tallest besides Abraham Lincoln. Does anybody know who the shortest was? I think it was McKinney. And you know how tall he was, or whoever it was? No, it was Adams, I think. 5'4". 5'4". Can you imagine the President of the United States being 5'4"? Anyway, and of course we know that Shaq is one of the tallest basketball players, but why is Shaq a little fish in a big pond? Because it is a very good advantage to have height as a what? As a basketball player. So he's a little fish in a big pond. So we're comparing apples to oranges here. And the way that you do that is that you give them each a z-score. So go ahead and do that. I want you to calculate the z-score, and you would use the one on the left. I mean, because we're doing a sample here, we're not doing a population. Do the one on the left, and I want you to calculate the z-score for LBJ, and then I want you to calculate the z-score for Shaq. And then I'll explain to you how we tell the difference. So go ahead and do that, because I really think y'all can do that. I think y'all can do that without me explaining it, because it tells you the mean of the presidents, and it tells you the mean of the mean and standard deviation of the basketball players. So you should be able to figure out what X is. X is the height of the person. So you should be able to do that. So C for LBJ, y'all have to excuse me, these are new styluses and I'm not used to them. They're fancy. LBJ is going to be 75 minus, what's the president's mean? 71.5 over 2.1. So I need somebody to crank that out for me and tell me what you get. I'm sorry, what? 1.6. I got 1.6. What do y'all got on teams? Y'all get a 1.6? Yeah, Hubert. No, Hubert. We're asleep, Hubert. Shaq. Y'all know y'all can talk in the microphone. You just have to hit the microphone and say, "Yeah, Hubert, that's what I got."
I got 1 point.
You got 1 point what?
Six.
Okay, thank you. Was that Miss Hicks? Thank you, Miss Hicks, for being interactive. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Rest of y'all suck. Y'all winged on a pickle. All right, so that's a joke, okay? I'm just criticizing. Don't forget it. All right, so 85 minus 80 divided by 3.3. All right, somebody give me that number. 1.5. So who is relatively taller? Well, you take your handy-dandy empirical rule, and since this is z-scores, 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. Plot LBJ. Well, LBJ is 1.6. So LBJ is right there. Shaq is right here. Which one is closer to the outliers? LBJ. So LBJ is relatively taller. Write that down. LBJ is closer to unusual or outliers. That's how I remember. The closer you are to unusual and outlier, that's the further you are as far as the ER, in this case, taller. Here is unusual, and here is outlier. LBJ is closer. Now, why is that? Because he is a big fish in a little pond. There is no height requirement or height advantage to being president of the United States. Okay? Some would say there's a good, it's an advantage to be tall, because you're a leader. Some people may argue that, but there's not an advantage. Whereas in basketball, there is an advantage. So most of the people that go into basketball for a living are usually tall. So that's why Shaq is not relatively taller, because he is a little fish in a big pond. And LBJ is a big fish in a little pond. And that's what relatively means. And that's how you do z-scores. Now we're going to see z-scores again in chapter 7. And we're going to have a whole unit test on z-scores. But that's how you do z-scores. Now, question, gripe, complaint. And hopefully most of y'all have seen z-scores before. Okay, good news is I'm going to cut us out early today. Why? Because that'll give y'all extra time to do homework. And right now, you are responsible for chapter 3. 3.1, 3.2, 3.5, 3.4, and 3.5. Now, I hope nobody's going to ask about 3.3, because you shouldn't, because all of you should have an outline in front of you. Why should you not be asking about 3.3?
Not on the outline.
Thank you. Who said that? Miss Stewart. Thank you for being interactive, and thank you for having your outline beside you. Okay? What a concept, having your outline beside you in class so you can see what's going to be on the test. All right, so what does that mean in the next couple of days? Since I've covered z-scores, I've covered 5-number summary, and a lot of you said, Hubert, you just went over it one time. Yes, but I have a feeling that y'all are going to send me questions Friday. And we're going to spend all day going over questions Friday, and probably Monday, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, Monday you don't come to class. So right now, you have a good long weekend to work on chapter 3. Okay? You have Friday to send questions on chapter 3, and you have Monday, an extra Monday to work on, and Tuesday, technically. And then the next time we will meet, besides Friday, will be Wednesday of next week. Anybody got any questions? Now, let me tell you what's going to happen after we go over questions Friday. If we go over questions Friday, and I don't get any questions Wednesday, then I'm going to go over the test in class and set the dates for class, set the dates for the test, and set the dates for the homework, which will be chapter 3. Okay? remember, dates on the homework and the test will not be assigned until I go over the test in class. And I will go over the test in class, then I'll assign the dates for the homework and the test. Okay? Any questions from the teamers? Okay, I am going to shut off the presentation and shut off the recording. If you have questions, you can